Last week, Dr. Chukwuemeka Odeigah, a consultant obstetrician and gynecologist, as well as medical director with Higher Trust Specialist Hospital, shared with us his expertise on how to manage menopause. Today, we bring you the concluding part. Please stay tuned. Can a trying to conceive woman get pregnant after experiencing or while experiencing menopause? Is there a silver lining for such women?
Yeah, as when I was trying to explain about what causes menopause, I said the ovaries normally produce eggs and then also produce hormones. Now, menopause is happening because she's no more producing eggs and the level of the hormones are declining. Now, we cannot, things have been tried experimentally. Things like what I refer to as ovarian rejuvenation, which actually involves injecting platelet-rich plasma or stem cells into the ovaries in the hope that will probably make the ovaries start producing eggs. But the results have not been encouraging, okay? Definitely in an economy like ours, Nigeria, we cannot be doing experimental things, here, okay? So that is definitely not advisable here. So, but fertility, if possible, with in vitro fertilization, making use of donated eggs from a donor, a younger woman who will donate for her so that we carry out the IVF and she will now carry the pregnancy. So that is the scientific way so far for her to conceive.
All right. Are there healthy tips for women experiencing menopause? What can they do, to live daily with this condition seamlessly?
Yeah, menopause, first of all, is for them to realize that it's a natural thing. It's a natural phenomenon, just like it's a physiological thing, okay? So, first of all, they need to accept it. Okay, it's another phase in their life to start with. Two, it's a period of where she should actually engage in general body checks if she hasn't been doing so before. Get pap smear done, get mammogram done, do her blood sugars, have her blood pressure checked, do an ECG of the heart, general body checks. It's a very, very critical time to start doing that if she hasn't been doing that already. Okay? Setting changes to her diet. Okay? For instance, at this time, because of the risk of osteoporosis, she needs to have more vitamin D and calcium. Okay? So, she will also have to probably watch her diet, be on foods that are rich on antioxidants. That's not the time for her to be eating junk or to be, if she was getting away with eating any other thing before, this is not the time for her to do that. Okay? And then it's also a time to listen more to her body, meaning that any complaint she's having, she shouldn't feel shy. Go presenting to the doctor to complain. I noticed this today. I noticed that, you know. So generally, for some women, it may be so bad, particularly like with psychological symptoms, she may even have to see a professional for that. Okay? She may be having feelings of depression and mood swings and things like that. She may actually need to see a professional for that.
Okay, oftentimes women experiencing this condition also complain about forgetfulness, lack of sleep, and all that. How do you think they can cope or manage these symptoms?
Well, for instance, lack of sleep, it's not every time we want to rush immediately and start prescribing drugs for them to use. And know fully well that most of these drugs, sedatives or anxiolytics, they're also drugs of addiction. So there are things that one should use sparingly if possible. So they can try non-pharmacological things, take a warm bath before they go to bed, take a hot beverage, maybe reduce the quantity of urine water they take in before they go to bed at night, so that they don't have to wake up frequently to go and pee, which actually happens as they are getting older. Okay, so these are some of the non-pharmacological. Then even before talking of using sedatives, the other drugs which you can actually get over the counter. Okay, for instance, calcitonin. Okay, which we can actually get. Melatonin rather, which you can actually get over the counter. Okay, it actually helps them sleep better. It helps to calm them down. Yeah, regarding insomnia, we've talked about non-pharmacological things. Okay, taking a warm bath before going to bed. Taking a hot beverage before going to bed. Minimizing the quantity of water you take so that you don't have to wake up so many times to breathe at night. Okay. Then we talked about things you can get over the counter. For instance, melatonin, which is a supplement. You can actually get it over the counter, okay, to use. It actually helps in helping the woman to sleep. It also helps in calming her mood, okay, and it's also not a drug of addiction, unlike these the anxiolytics or the sedatives, okay. Regarding forgetfulness, I mentioned it that as one of the symptoms, the long-term symptoms of menopause. Well, engaging in simple mental exercises is very, very important. Being active too. Physical activity is also very, very important, where that is concerned. Okay, and then apart from that, even participating in games, playing mental games, things like that. It will go a very long way. There are no drugs as at yet that you say you can use and actually control, help with forgetfulness. If women do experience that, but as I said, maybe with all the changes that are going on in her body at that time, she may be more prone to that. Yes.
Okay, so let us look at men and relationship with men and women now. Their sexual engagement and sexual encounter. How do you want men to relate with women experiencing menopause?
Okay. First of all, the men, that's either the male partner, the husband, they need to understand the kind of changes she's going through. Certain times she could be irritable, okay? Certain times she could be forgetting things and all that. So they need to be patient when they are relating with their female partners or their wives at that stage. And patience and tolerance is very, very important, okay? And In terms of sexual relationship, it's definitely her libido will also be suffering, will also go down in most cases, because a lot of times what is responsible for libido both in the man and the woman has to do with the level of androgens, that's the male kind of hormones, principally testosterone, which is also being produced by the ovary as well in a smaller quantity than what is being produced in the man's testes. So there's every likelihood that she will experience a loss of libido. Apart from that, we've also talked about the estrogen being produced, the lower quantity. It can actually lead to some atrophy, that's some shrinkage of some of the external genitalia of the woman. So because of that, coupled with the fact that she's not having libido and all that, she's more prone to having pain during sexual intercourse. Okay? She's not, in severe cases, there have been reports of coital laceration. That is, during the process of having sexual intercourse, the man actually leads to a tear there in the vagina that will actually lead to bleeding and need to actually be taken to the hospital to be sutured. Okay? So, very, very important. He needs to be very patient, he needs to be very tolerant and understanding. It's not the time to be engaging in fights all the time with the woman. Aside that, during sexual encounters, he may have to spend more time to actually engage in foreplay so that she can actually get in the mood. Okay? There may actually be need to use things like lubricants, okay, to ease the issue of pain in the woman, which we call dyspareunia in the woman. Okay, so those are some of the tips that they can actually use.
All right, your final words as we wrap up now, Dr. Odeigah.
Okay, menopause is a natural phenomenon. It's something that will come. It's as natural as having gray hair on your head. So it's something the couple, not just the woman, but the couple need to embrace as another phase in life. And just as they've been coping with other phases, it's something that is very, very doable. With simple modifications, diet, exercise, general body checks, and having a very tolerant and understanding male partner. This will help to ease the transition into menopause.
All right, ensure you embrace healthy lifestyle modification to ease the transition between pre-menopause and menopause itself. Dr. Chukwuemeka Odeigah, consultant obstetrician and gynecologist and medical director with Ayatrust Specialist Hospital on Menopause. Thank you so much for your time and expertise on the program.
Thank you.
Sound Health continues with trending health report from around the world. Please stay tuned.
Kamau will die at 49. Lucy will die at 52. Ashley will die at 57. Fatima will die at 59. Ethan will die at 63. A privileged few will be healthy enough to live sometimes decades longer than others, particularly those with access not just to healthcare, but resources like housing, education and jobs. This is what health inequity means. To change this, we need to be all for equity.
The program is still Sound Health on Lagos Television. Remember, life does not end with menopause. It is another adventure, a natural phenomenon every woman must encounter. Seek medical help early enough if you're experiencing any of the conditions listed by Dr. Odeigah. This is where we say thank you on today's episode of Sound Health. For comments and inquiries, if you have topics you'd like us to treat, please send SMS to 00358266603 or follow us on social media at Lagos Television, #Sound Health. A sound health is a sound mind. Make healthy living your choice.